watching Cold.Blooded.Envisions. Welcome to another video on this channel. If it's your first time watching, I want to welcome you, but I also want to invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them down below. But as you can see, we're down here in the reptile room, standing in front of this large enclosure. Got this box here. We're going to be taking out some animals from brumation. These are some Gila monsters that I purchased a while back. And when I picked them up, we did an unboxing video, and then I put them into brumation. I showed you and told you about what I look at and what I think about when I'm starting this process. And today we're going to take them out of brumation. We're going to put them in their new enclosures here and get them at home. But before we put them in the enclosures, I'm going to do a little inspection, make sure that everything looks good on the animal, and make sure that there's no issues that need to be addressed. And then we'll go from there. Anyways, let's get right into it. So here we're going to go ahead and take the lid off here. And as you can see, both animals are here in this box. Well, two of the animals are here in this box. I'm going to separate them from each other first, just because I don't want to get bit. So I'm going to pick them up carefully. And then I'm going to take a look. Now this animal right here was my favorite animal out of the unboxing video, where I picked up 4 Gila monsters, 2 males and 2 females. So I'll go ahead and give you a quick look at the pattern. There's a lot of really deep blacks and some really nice oranges. Really nice pattern in there. And so I'm going to look at the eyes. Check for the tongue flicks. So the eyes look pretty good. I'm going to check the hands and feet, make sure that there's no bites or anything like that, because they were together all this time. That looks fine also. Then you want to check the condition of their body. But anyway, I'll give you another quick look at its body. Hopefully that's showing up. But he's huffing and puffing, so that lets you know that he's active and alert. Doesn't like what I'm doing, but it's just to make sure that everything's okay. Everything looks fine, it looks healthy. Looks thick enough, and so I'm just going to put it in its enclosure not to upset it too much. And I'm going to do the next one. So this is the female. She's got a smaller head, and just going to look over her as well. Looks like her claws are a little long here, so I'm going to have to cut them. But looking over her, if you look at her eyes, oh, I don't want her to release anything, but if you look at her eyes are not open the way they should be. And so I'm going to soak her in some water, and hopefully she doesn't have any infections or anything like that. Hopefully it's just from being in brumation. But I'm going to soak her in some water. And then the rest of her, I'm going to look over the rest of her body. Alright, the rest of her body looks fine. She looks big enough. She doesn't look like she's got any injuries. She's breathing fine. She's hissing fine. And actually, before I put her in there, I'm going to soak her. So I've got a bin here already ready to soak her. And I'll get rid of this. So I've got her in, as you can see, about 1 inch of water here. And I'm just going to leave her in there for a little bit with the lid on. This is a little bit above room temperature, this water. And what I'm going to do is just put the lid on it so that there's a little humidity in there. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to sprinkle some water over that eye. I believe that sprinkling water over the eye, just like when we have sleep in our eyes, if we put some water on it, we can get that sleep out. I'm hoping that'll be the case with this, but I'll monitor her, and then I'll take her out. And if that doesn't work, I'll schedule her a vet appointment in the next couple days. And I'm not super concerned right now because of the fact that she's active, she's not skinny, the eye doesn't look super bad, it's not swollen or anything like that, it's just got a little mucus in there. And so I'm just going to leave her in here for like 20 to 30 minutes, see if that helps. If it doesn't, I'm going to keep an eye on it for the next couple days. And if nothing changes, if it doesn't improve, we'll go ahead and get her a vet appointment. And just to give a little background, if you looked at my unboxing video, I did end up noticing that she was breathing a little funny, in my opinion, so I took her to the vet. The vet visit was fine, and he told me I should be able to put her in brumation. So I've been keeping an eye on her, but I didn't notice that eye. So maybe I need to keep a little bit better eye on them, but I've never had that issue before. So anyway, lesson learned, and we're gonna start on the next one. And look at this guy. As you can see, Gila monsters, people say they don't need climbing space, but I gave them a branch there because I know that they will climb. Alright, so looking at these next pair here, these are much bigger. I'm going to start with the female. So I'm going to take it real slow and gentle so they don't get upset. And look at this one. She's got a really nice dark pattern, but a lot of orange in there too. We're going to look at her eyes. Her eyes look clear. She's tongue flicking. I heard her hiss, and the hiss didn't sound like there was any liquid in there. Her body weight, as you can see, she's kind of thick, so she didn't lose too much weight when she was in brumation. Yeah, overall she looks really good. So I'm going to put her in her enclosure. Alright. And then that was the male. You could hear his hiss. It sounded clear too. Cool. So I'm going to have to get at a better angle with this guy, because he's upset already. And so one way to avoid getting bit by animals like this is to approach them really slowly. It makes it so that they're not as jumpy. This one still is jumpy, but he didn't jump the way he did before when I was moving a little faster. He's got a blockier head, and his eyes look good. Eyes look really clear. Hopefully that shows up on video. But his hiss sounded good. It didn't sound like there was any moisture or liquid in there, so that's good. It looks like one of his nails is trying to grow back. If you remember in the unboxing video, he was missing 2 of his nails. One of them is trying to grow back, it looks like, and then the other one looks like there's a chance it could grow back. So I'm hoping that both nails grow back. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes too much of the toe is lost and you can't get that nail back. So I don't know, but I'll give you a look at him. So his back is much darker like that first male, and he looks really nice. Not as bright a orange. Still a really nice looking animal. He's pretty good size. His tail hasn't lost too much weight. And so I'm gonna check on that female in a few minutes, and then we'll get these other ones in for a soak as well. Alright you guys, so I've got her in the water here. This bin is about 1 inch of water, and it's about room temperature. And so what I'm doing here is giving her an opportunity to soak. That hissing that she was doing there, it wasn't actually hissing, it was she was swallowing her water, because I was pouring water over her face like this. Yeah, I'm just pouring water over her eye to see if it will help her open her eye. Just like us, when we get sleep in our eye, sometimes our eye will get closed shut. So I'm hoping that that's all this is. But I'm just running some water over, and she's opening her mouth, taking a drink as I'm doing it. She seems to be breathing okay. She seems to be acting normal. It's just that one eye is closed. So I'm hoping that's the truth and there's no major issue here, but if I keep observing her over the next couple days and I see the issue, I will be scheduling her a vet appointment and we'll get her looked at. I did have her and the other animals looked at as well before I put them into brumation, and they looked fine at the time, and I've been monitoring them the whole time that they've been in brumation, but I missed this one's eye being closed. So let me just take another look at her eye now that I've put some water over her. Hopefully after a little bit, after she gets a drink, she'll be able to open that eye. I'll check her again. I'm going to leave her in here for about 20-30 minutes. She's breathing fine. She's chilling. The only issue I see on her is the eye. So hopefully that's the truth, and we won't have any issues. Alright, so I've given them some time to soak. Gonna take a look. As you've seen, the male was taking a drink in that little clip. So I'll start with him. He looks fine. Alright, so there's gonna be no heat on these enclosures for the first, I want to say about a week. I'll give it before I start putting any heat on them. Alright, so we have this second pair sitting in the water here. Just give them a quick soak to make sure they can get some water if they want it. I feel like it's a good idea to get them hydrated after they've been in brumation. I've offered them water throughout the whole time, but this is a chance where they can get a lot of water and it's easy to be found. And they were not active before, and they're somewhat active now. And as you can tell, this girl, as soon as she noticed that she was in the water, she's in there getting a drink. Alright, so I will leave them alone for about 10-20 minutes in here because neither one of these look like they got any issues. And we'll come back and check on them and put them in their new enclosure. Alright, so all of these animals had a chance to soak. The ones that I just put in there, I'm going to go ahead and take out, and we'll look at them once more before we put them in their enclosure. So this big female got a nice drink of water. Skin is looking nice. I'll go ahead and get her put in her enclosure. And this male is the one that was pretty feisty. Since he got in the water, realized he's not going to get hurt, he chilled out. I don't hear any huffing or any hissing. Both animals were able to get a drink of water, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in their enclosure. But before I do, look again at that tail. I feel like this animal is going to produce some super nice babies. Get them put away. Alright, you guys, and there you have it. Both of the pairs of Gila monsters were pulled out of brumation. As you can see, they're all exploring their new homes. I won't be putting heat on any of these guys for another week. Just gonna let them adapt to the warmer temperatures inside of this room. And just monitor, make sure that there's no issues, and if they are, then we're gonna take them to the vet and address any issues. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me on this video. As you can see, we took these animals out of brumation and all of them looked like they were pretty healthy, aside from the exception with the one whose eye had some gunk in it. I'm hoping that after the next couple days, after another soak or two, we'll go ahead and see if the eye is doing any better. If it's not, I'll set a vet appointment and we'll go ahead and get her looked at. But like I said, before she went into brumation, there was no issues. So I'm hoping that things are still good, but if not, the vet will let us know if nothing clears up. I'll be monitoring these guys and I'll keep you guys updated. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to let me know. But just for any of those who are concerned, I do have the center dividers like you've seen in the build video that I can put in there if for some reason that female is not doing better with her eyes. But anyways, thank you for sticking around and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.